Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are just waiting to get a few more drivers in the lobby, and then we will officially get underway and make a proper announcement about tonight's race. For those already streaming with us, you can see it is in Spain. This is the Premier League tonight. So we had a championship race last night, which was actually, I raced in that race. It was a really, really good race. We had some really good qualifying times. We also had a mixture of weather. We had a Q1 and a Q2 of rain, a Q3 that started in rain and ended in the dry. And obviously, I'm not too sure on the weather. We have Mr. Bradfield on board with us today, who is racing, so good luck to him. And obviously, he will let us know a little bit about the weather if he doesn't forget, because that's sometimes something he does forget to do. So he's wishing for no rain at the moment, but until we actually get this lobby underway, we won't know for sure. But thank you for all those that are supporting the channel. Please do send the links on to anybody who may be interested in league racing or want to watch league racing or learn a bit more about league racing, and ask them to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. We'll get underway in 2 minutes, so we're just waiting for, I believe, one driver, who I believe is
We're
playing.
waiting for Declan. Oh, yeah, Artie Wee's going to lead the stream for us tonight. He'll be popping out in a couple of minutes, and then obviously you got Justin with you as well to talk you through the race conditions and how not to race. You'll hear him say, "Oh shit, I've crashed" at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we're waiting on Declan. He's our last driver waiting for in that Red Bull. He's on pro clubs at the minute, so as soon as it gets to 7:30, we'll get an invite to a reserve. We'll wait a minute just in case they do want to join.
So while we're waiting, I thought it might be a good little time to go over the circuit, discuss the track a little bit. Don't know how many of you watching tonight have raced the circuit already. I'm sure the majority of you have. So we'll talk a little bit about that when we're riding on board with some of the drivers, just to sort of see what kind of lines they take. You know, there's the racing line, of course, but everybody has their own sort of entries and exits to corners, braking points and braking zones, etc. So mixture of assists being run here by drivers, some with none, some with some. So yeah, you always kind of get a different feel for how the car plays out. That's going to be quite interesting. But as Jake alluded to, I'm filling in or acting as primary commentator. Big shoes to fill. Mr. Wilson's very good at this compared to me. So any comments and feedback that you want to get improvements on, just pop them in the YouTube channel, and we will try to give you better coverage and, you know, whatever you need, basically.
Right. It's now 7:30. Declan's still on FIFA. So I'll quickly send an invite to Jake Slayer, who was our third reserve. He's probably not going to be on, but we'll give that a minute to see if he wants to race.
Yeah, it's not good, really. They should be on. They know, so they really just annoys me sometimes.
We'll give him a minute.
All the other drivers turn up week in, week out. You get the occasional one.
Yeah, like I say, we had 20 thumbs up this morning for this.
They know what times.
Yeah, we had 20 drivers thumbs up this morning. Woods dropped out earlier, which is at least he let us know.
Well, I think
Woods is doing shush.
Oh, I'm talking.
And I was talking.
You carry on,
and
mate.
the other,
Go watch Darcy.
the other Red Bull's now dropped out as well, so not great for Red Bull, is it?
No, it's not.
At least, so we got Crypticala boy into Red Bull, and it looks like he's going to be on his own. We can quickly send an invite to Nunda. Can we get what? Sorry, Justin?
No, go on, put Nunda in then.
No, it's Adam in tonight. Hello, Adam. Thanks for your comment.
What you do.
Is Adam racing in tonight's race? No. Adam's actually my teammate in the championship, and we were both very, very unlucky not to get any points last night, Adam. To the next race, buddy. Austria.
I'll give it till 32, and if none of them are joined, then we'll just go.
Alright then. You whenever I guess Bradfield's ready up, the rest of the grid will follow, so I'll just follow that suite. ALR Vintage says, good evening again, lads. Good evening, ALR Vintage. I hope you're having a fine Saturday evening. At least it's not raining today here in the UK, or wherever you are in the world. Hopefully it's not.
Let's go. Let's ready up, boys.
Oh, we're underway!
Giving them 2 minutes to get in. None of them are joined. One might join through quali. Obviously, we've got invites for 2 reserves and Deckerman himself.
Cool, no problem. We're going to get underway. As Jake alluded to there, we're not going to wait any longer. Unfortunately, it's unfair on the drivers who have made it on time. We just want to reiterate to all the drivers, if you can't make it, please message the admins, Jay Bradfield or Jake Wilson, and let them know. It's not hard. It takes 1 second to send a message. Please do it.
That's it.
Whatever emergency's going on. I had a really bad emergency last week. I had really bad, and I still took 1 second out of my day to say, guys, I'm going to be late, and I apologise. And that's all it takes. Simple courtesy. But enough of that, and let's get going. Jockey Hockey says, let's do this. And I agree, Jockey Hockey. Let's do this. Let's get the excitement going. Let's get these engines fired up. And let's start burning some rubber on this track, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, I'm gonna watch the stream and I'm gonna leave you two to it. I'll be commenting through it.
Enjoy your evening and enjoy the dark.
I might pop in again later.
We look forward to having you back at any time, sir.
See you soon.
See you later, man.
So now we've lost, our main leading actor. So I'll try to stand in. We've got Bradfield who's there, who's a king, but he will be racing. So just bear that in mind. There'll be times where he'll be focusing, and I will try not to get too excited throughout the race, where I might be very distracting to Mr. Bradfield. I don't know how he does it, ladies and gentlemen. Fine, I don't know how he does it. I could never be in a party on commentary and be racing, but he can.
You're all right, mate.
He's the man who can.
Mate. You can talk as much as you want, mate, and shout and scream. I don't mind.
Well, if we have anything like the race we had last night, I am going to get excited. And we just see here now, the lobby was playing up a bit there, but so far we've had reasonably good luck, and hopefully that continues. Just going to do a sound check. Up a bit there, but so far. Okay, sound's working. Perfect.
Should be all right.
Right.
The reason we haven't got Jake Wilson tonight is he likes to watch darts.
Yeah. He'll be watching the darts.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
No offense to any of you darts lovers out there. Me and Bradfield are not saying there's anything wrong with that. We're just struggling in our own minds to understand how we could not want to watch you find specimens racing around this track versus those specimens throwing essentially a dart at a board. But nonetheless, we actually have a car out on the track already now, and it's the Alpha Tauri of Nightwing MM, I believe. And I will go over the championships a little bit later, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of the standings and where everybody is, currently residing, and that will become a little bit more relevant when we find out where they qualify and kind of where they're going to start the race, because depending on where they start and qualify, etc., will mean where they are likely to finish but not guaranteed to finish, because that's the whole point of fun racing. So it's going to get a nice aerial view of the Alpha Tauri, and it looks like it's a nice sunny day here in Español, Circuit de Catalunya, and don't see any rain, or don't expect any rain. We've got quite a few drivers out now. We've also got Irish Nude Potato, who's another fast driver in the league world, for those of you who know him. But also someone... Yeah, definitely. But also someone I know, I wouldn't say on a personal basis, but we're in a car forum together, and he has a similar sort of tuned-up BMW like mine. So yeah, good guy to know just generally in the car world arena, F1 racing, etc. And then we see just in front of him there is Scorpa, and hopefully they're not going to trip over each other, as we saw today in the real qualifying at Monaco. It was a disaster. I can't understand why this stuff happened. And luckily us as league racers are a little bit more sensible than the actual real F1 drivers, because we don't really trip over each other too much. We had an incident last night, but that was just a glitch thing. But yeah, let's ride on board with the driver, hey, and see how they're getting on. So we've got Nightwing here, and he's just gotten his absolutely blistering first lap. He goes really left there into turn one and throws the car to the right-hand side. Here it's all about speed and throttle control as you approach these final corners, the entry to these two corners here. And as we see he's come out there, he could have got a little bit wider, so I suspect as the track goes on and evolution takes place, he might push that car a little bit harder. But it seems he's just kind of going out and getting a feel. He's not really pushing based on sort of the track lines and position. But Irish followed in for about 5 seconds. I'm just guessing there, but based on the timings that I can see, and probably picking up a nice little toe out of Nightwing. So yeah, well done to Irish for getting that absolutely spot on, because he literally seems to be just about 5 seconds away. Nightwing's lost it, and that's absolutely terrible, and that's hopefully not compromise Irish too much. It doesn't seem to. And we see Scorpa get out of the way of Irish. Okay, fine. So luckily nothing bad happened there, but as you saw, yeah, Nightwing, something went horribly wrong with the probably opened up the rear wheels a little bit too quickly, or didn't have enough heat in those tyres yet, you know, first 3 minutes of the track. Yeah,
definitely you got to have the right wing on this.
Absolutely. The downforce at the rear is mental. Like, you know, for me personally, I don't want to give my setup away, but I run a really high rear wing and a really low front wing, so that kind of gives you an idea of where I'm at personally. But I'm no expert, guys. I'm not like a professional racer or anything like that. But nonetheless, let's see. We see Siege is set at 115.1. We see that Irish is on a 115.5, and then J Story on a 117.4. So these are good times so far. Don't think we need to focus too much on the times. Nightwing and 142, we know that he had a spin. It actually looks like he hasn't suffered any damage. So it actually looks like now he's going to re-attempt on the same set of tyres, which I think that'll probably be about 3-4%. So that shouldn't really compromise him too much. I don't know how much the rear wheels went there, obviously, when he had the accident, but should be okay, and just riding on board with him a little bit now, just got this lovely aerial view of the AlphaTauri there, and I'm just trying to see now if he's going to get caught up in the traffic here, because you've got Williams, and the Williams has actually gone completely off the track there, so well done to him. That's really good. That's very courteous driving there. And this is one of the hardest sections of the track. We've got another Williams driver here, and I think this might be I don't know if they're going to compromise. We've got a few cars here now. Scorp is ahead of Nightwing, so we'll just keep an eye here. And Irish Newber's has moved out the way now. And just trying to see if he can get a lap in here, because obviously he has used these tyres a bit more than he would have liked. We've got a lot more cars now. TTG Sean, Cryptic Alibi, Harrison 19, who have all set lap time, so we will go over their lap times in a minute. But just sort of finishing off this. No, he's nearly lost it. I don't know what Nightwing's doing actually. I think we'll just leave him to sort himself out, because he's come back into the pits, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have a single idea what he's doing, because he was sitting a good time there, and then he sort of come back in, and then he nearly lost it on the entry of the pit. So yeah, hopefully he's not going to have too many more complications through quali and the race. But yeah, let's go right on board now. Mr. J. Bradfield is on an out lap, and he's just about to start cross the start finish line and get this lap underway, and I'll ride on board with him and actually go through this track if he doesn't mind. And he just comes in here into turn 1. This is turn 2, and the big right looping here is turn 3. Just as he comes over the right hand here, as he touches the, well, he doesn't actually go to the green patch of the line there, but some do, and then he moves over a bit there. And now he's going to negotiate 4 and 5 and 6, and then we come past sector 2 here. He's had a little bit of a wobble there, and it's probably me distracting him. So we're right on board with another driver.
No, it's not you, mate.
This is the problem when I'm talking about the corners. It just gets people in a muddle, because naturally, even though he says it's fine, I've been there. The thing is, he's thinking about different things to what I'm saying. So let's go right on board with Serious Mushroom, and if he hits turn 1, turn 2. Now, turn 2 is all about the throttle input. You see, he short shifted there from 4th to 5th gear. If you watch on the onboard inputs there of your steering wheel, I personally just hold the throttle halfway and keep the revs quite, like, sort of between the lower part and the higher part of the rev, so mid range, if you want to call it that. But yeah, just negotiating this part of the track, you can gain and lose quite a lot of time on that left-hander, because some people brake late and then they miss the actual apex, the turn-in point. And then again here, this part of the track is, well, he's negotiated that pretty well. But that is what we call turn 7 and 8 combined at the end of basically sector 2, the midsection of sector 2, should I say. And that's the tricky part. You can and will see cars losing the rear wheels there. And then sort of now coming into this final part of the track here, we have a turn 11 and 12. Now, some drivers like to ride the left-hand side of the track there, and some like to stay on the right and avoid the curb altogether. I think hitting the curb, it unbalances the car personally, and it kind of then gives you a little bit of an unsettling feeling. So just something to think about if you are racing in the future, you know, how you want to take the entry to that corner can be, can kind of have a massive impact on your overall performance on lap time. But we've got Idenzo here, currently in 16th position, hasn't set a lap time, just negotiating the final sector of sector 3. And yeah, Mr. Bradfield again now, unfortunately, as he just moaned begrudgingly in the background there, but he's had that. And the game is very strict this year, something I've got more used to, but still sometimes find that it gives very ridiculous decisions, especially when you're trying to avoid a collision or overtake. It's like, well, where else must I go? Like, must I slow down? Like, that's not racing. What the hell do you want me to do? But nonetheless, here comes Idenzo just negotiating the final corner. He runs the inside line there very, very tightly, and it moves them up to P3 with a 115.238. So now we're seeing Siege The 115.126 still in P1, followed by Cowie, who's managed to set a 115.169, and then Idenzo with the 115.238, making the top 3, followed by Irish New Potato, Jake S, Jockey Hockey, Liam, Crooksy, TTG, Shaw 93, Serious Mushroom, Cryptic Ali Guy, Ozan, Harrison 1, J Story, X-Scorper, Nightwing, Alfonso Boss, Jay Bradfield, who has yet to do a lap and needs to do a lap now. He's really got to, well, he's still got time actually. If I was Jay Bradfield, I'd just go park it in the pit, wait for 5 minutes to go and put in a lap, wait for track evolution, but that's not my decision. We'll see what he decides to do. And now, just riding on board here with X-Scorper, who's currently on an out lap, and let's see, is there any drivers who are currently at risk? Well, there's drivers like Ozan and Harrison 1 and Jay Story who are normally into Q2, so quite interesting race we're going to have tonight, because it looks like we've got quite a lot of drivers who are quite close together in timings, whether it be the top 5 close together in timings, or whether it be the mid-pack close, or whether it even be the lower tier sort of 13 downwards being quite close in timing. So we will see how things go and how they develop as the race goes on, and so far looking good in terms of everybody's, respected everybody. No one seems to have got in each other's way yet, haven't got bad weather, and most importantly, we've still got every single driver on the grid trying to set a lap time. We're not run out of qualification time yet, and no one's been able to get out for whatever reason. So just riding on board here with Ozan, who's going to try and improve his time of 116.973 on this lap. So let's ride on board with him in the orange McLaren there. And I hope now Crooksy's not going to get in his way. And that was a little bit dangerous, but well done Crooksy for getting out the way there. Very difficult track to negotiate the pit exit while someone's on a flying lap, because this first turn actually meets with the exit of the pit. So yeah, doesn't make life easy, that one. And I see some people have posted some comments now, so I'm just going to try review some of those. And don't forget, Idenzo has a Q3 ban. So Idenzo, according to Jake Wilson, should not be allowed to run in Q3. And Nunda's back tonight. Nunda says if you don't go throughout turn 3 and turn 7, you have a bad setup. You need the spectator menu set up, mate. Nunda, can you join in? Please press square to hide spectators menu. Do you not want to see the spectators menu, guys? There you go. Apologies. Is that better? And Luke said, I need a teammate at Red Bull Reserve Racing Team. Yes, you do, but I think it's too late for that now. And Ozan gets horribly out of shape there. And unfortunately, I think that's the end of his opportunity to set a lap. He'll probably now have to go back into the pits and get another set of tyres. So unlucky. And you just see where X-Scorp is going to end up here as he crosses the start-finish line to set his blistering lap. Currently in P18. And we'll get back to him in a little bit. Quite a few cars out on the track now, actually, so I'm just trying to make sure I keep up with all the different cars that are on track. We've just seen that YT Paint Dead has joined. I don't know if that was a driver who was supposed to be earlier and is running a bit late. And someone has actually crashed. Ozan has crashed at the pit entry and is officially out of Q1. I mean, his time hadn't warranted him getting... Yeah, he's out. Ozan is out. Yeah, he's lost the car. The car's terminal damage and he's out. So that's unlucky for Ozan, who is normally quite a quick driver, from if memory serves right. So we just see now that Alfonso Boss, who's in P19, is on an out lap. He had a really... I don't know if I agreed with his strategy there. I'm not criticising him as a driver, but as he came into the final corner of sector 3 just before the start-finish line, he really slowed the car down and sort of set all the settings and then went. And that sometimes sounds like a good idea, because you see real Formula 1 drivers doing it. The problem in this game is the tyres lose temperature rapidly, so you really want to try keep the momentum, and if you are going to slow down, try to slow down way before that final corner, so that then you set all the car up. And actually going into that final corner, I always try to have everything on the maximum that you need to have it on to do your run. So that way you actually hit the start-finish line, or that straight line, if you want to call it that, way sooner. That's just an opinion. I'm not asking you lot to do what I do, or to even listen to what I'm saying. It's just an opinion. Belgium's track limits are ridiculous. Why are we talking about Belgium, Linda? Oh, and that's the end of Alfonso Boss also. So Alfonso Boss that we were riding on board there, I don't know if we're putting him under pressure because he's listening to the stream or not, but he is now. So we've now lost 2 drivers, unfortunately. And Jake Wilson says that he invited YT Payne. No problem. Thanks for letting us know, Jake. That's very much appreciated, and glad that you're listening. Let us know if there's any improvements we need to make on the old microphone. But yeah, so far so good. I've got to say, apart from losing these two drivers, which is always disappointing for us as a commentary team, because we want, you know, ideally to have all the drivers. And oh my goodness, we've missed that. I'm really sorry, ladies and gentlemen. A 1:14.9 has just been set by Idenzo, and that is an absolutely blustering pace lap for Q1-2. Let's just bear this in mind. We are in Q1. We haven't gone 2 or 3. 3 is when you expect to see the real times. But gee, a 1:14.9. And I'm just trying to have a think. And off the top of my memory, I don't even think we saw 1:14 last night at all. I think we just got to the early 1:15, if memory serves right. So, wow, 1:14.9. That is Idenzo, fantastic time. I really do applaud that time, buddy. I didn't see the lap, and for that I am, you know, exceptionally sorry for that. TGD Sean now also it looks like he's going to try go a little bit quicker than he did. He probably doesn't feel he's safe enough. I think if you're in the top 10 now, you are safe enough personally, but that's just my opinion. And then, of course, Mr. Bradfield is now P13, so he needs to get out there and try to get himself. Otherwise, it's going to be squeaky bum time for last day at Claire Williams' job at Williams. You know, apparently in the interview she done today, for those of you who didn't watch it, she left because she wants to spend more time being a mom and blah, 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 blah. She basically didn't do the job properly. She's probably been told to leave, let's be honest. But it's all good. Onwards and upwards. Anyway. Yeah, she's got the money. It's all good. But anyway, onwards and upwards for Williams. We hope that they will really have a good season. And naturally, we wish Williams a good season in WNR. So, yes. Just a big shout out, really, while we're kind of getting to the end of these qualification sessions here and riding on board. Just a big shout out to Jake Wilson and Bradfield setting up this league. We've got 2 tiers. We've got a championship in the Premier League, and so far we've actually found some really good drivers and had some really good races. So this is good. Harrison 7-1 now in the other AlphaTauri. Has got some pressure to live up to now and try to get himself into you know, Q2 like his teammate has already done, even though he had that initial accident that happened in the earlier part of qualification. And Jay Story now being very respectful there and moving out the way of Jockey Hockey. So yeah, some cars finishing. I'm just trying to look on the map there. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not as good as Mr. Wilson at this stuff, so you just have to bear with me. I will get there eventually, and if there's anything you think I need to improve on, then just put it in the comments. Like, you didn't want the spectator menu, hopefully that's sorted now. If there's anything else you don't want, let us know. But yeah, quite a few cars now dying, especially here, our good old friend Mr. Bradfield really wanting to get out of Q1 and get into Q2 and put the misery of Q1 behind them. In the final corner here for Captain Infinity. And he just opens up that steering wheel and lets the car run wide. He could have run a bit wider, but that's fine. And where does he finish? Oh, sorry, apologies. He's just about to go out on this lap. Oh no, Mr. Bradfield, what you're going to have to do is turn off that ERS and go around again. You won't have enough time to pit. So slow the car down, let the tires cool, save it all up, get ready again. You've got no one behind you for miles, so you're pretty clear. And Harrison, so who would be out now? I mean, Cryptic Alaba seems to have just come out the pit now, P15. He's obviously trying to now get this lap done. We've got a Haas there who's come flying past him. And who's driving that Haas? Jay Story. Yeah, he's so far 200 up on his previous time going into Sector 1, which is not obviously a positive result. So yeah, an Irish Nude Potato, I don't know if he's retired or whether there's been an accident, but he's in P6, either he's retired or there's been an accident. I'll have to get back to you guys on that one a little bit later. Hopefully it is just a retirement. And YT Paynes is actually in here. I don't know how, he's managed to get in and take over the Red Bull in qualification, so well done to him. And in P8, coming late to the party, having just been invited, so well done. And it looks like he may make it into Q2, so yeah, well done. But yes, Mr. Bradfield, come on, focus now. Still, no one can match Idenzo's time of a 1:14.9. I think that's a very impressive time. I think Jockey Hockey, I don't know why Jockey Hockey's gone out here again, because he's wasting the tyres, but maybe he just feels he wants to get a bit more time. Well, he just wants to prove, can he get any closer to a 1:15 flat, or you know, just shy of that 1:14.9 time set by Denzo. And just, we see here Whitey Payne, the tyres are looking very dirty there. So I think he's probably come off and picked up a lot of gravel. And Jay Bradfield at the moment in P13. So we'll see how that unfolds. A couple of cars ahead of him. And Cryptic Alaba being one of them. He must have the back.
Jockey Hockey's retired.
Jockey Hockey. And Siege is retired, but I think that's obviously just a normal retirement. And Cryptic Alaba now out in the Red Bull. Let's see if he can improve on his time and find if he can get out of Q1. Hopefully he can. So far he's 200. Oh, okay. This is very good for Cryptic Alaba. He's about 300 seconds up on his previous time on Delta. So coming out of Sector 3, I believe that was. No, Sector 2, I do apologise. So now into Sector 3, the final bit. He's just negotiating the final corner here. Nice little right-hander. Oh, I wouldn't have hugged that as much as he did there, but okay, no problem. Let's see where that puts him. And well done. He gets himself into P12, and he does find himself in Q2 as it stands at the moment. And so does Jay Bradfield after all those sort of niggly starts that he had with invalid laps and stuff, wasting of the tyres he does. And so far it looks like well, certainly we've lost Jockey Hockey, certainly we've lost Ozan, and certainly we've lost Alfonso Boss. But Will Harrison's not, he's in the pits at the moment. Jay Story doesn't look like he's going to set a faster time at the moment. X-Scorpa doesn't look like he's going to set a fast time at the moment. And based on that, ladies and gentlemen, I think I can say with pretty much certainty and confidence that probably concludes the majority of what's happening for Q1. So unlucky to our 5 drivers that have left, and well done to our 15 drivers that have made it into Q2. And we'll just go back to the comments now and see if there's anything else. And Nunda said Alfonso crashed, Jockey Hoshi crashed Sector 2, bottom 6 will be out. Well done. Oh yes, you're correct, Jake. 100%. We will actually now lose the bottom 6 due to that. But nonetheless, our good friend, our other admin, he has made it through. So well done, Mr. Bradfield.
Struggling the Premiership.
You need to grease up those pedals a little bit more, my friend, and get that accelerator working a bit more efficiently in the brake pedal. Just remember, it's all about that throttle control around some of them corners, man, because then when you come out, you get that oversteer, then that's what makes you then snap it the other way, and then you go invalidated lap, and it's so frustrating. Do you know what I mean? It's that snap that comes out. Especially with the wheel, you feel it way more on that than a controller. People don't realise that. It's way more on the wheel. So, that concludes that, and as you can see by the standings there, as I just pour myself a refreshing Coca-Cola, we're not promoting Coca-Cola by the way, everybody, just saying, and Idenzo, Siege, Cowie, Liam, Irish Nude Potato, Jake S, YT Payne's Dead, Nightwing, Crooksy, TTG Sean, Serious Mushroom, Cryptic Alaba, Jake Wilson, Captain Infinity, and then the list goes down to Jockey Hockey, Harrison, Ozan, J Story, Scorpa, and Alfonso Boss. Unlucky to those guys.
Jake
I don't know.
He's got a 5-position penalty there by the looks of it on here.
I haven't watched the. Let's check the race director information. Oh, it's just disappeared. That will come back in a minute. Thank you for all those that are joining us. We see more comments going on board. We also see more people coming to view the channel. Please do not forget to click subscribe to the channel. That's just as important as coming and watching us talk and, you know, cheering us on or criticising us if you want. But please subscribe. Whether you love it or hate it, just subscribe. Do us a favour. Click a button. It takes a second, please. Right. So now the question will be, you know, I don't want to talk about other people's strategies, but something that you may want to just consider a little bit here, ladies and gentlemen, and that is, what tyres are you going to set your Q2 on? So some drivers will go for softs, and their strategy will then be a little bit more limited, because what happens is whatever tyres you set your fastest lap time in Q2 on are the tyres you will start the race on. We actually see a couple of cars have gone up very premature here. I think Knight always seems to go out first, Nightwing. So that may be his strategy. Just get out there, put a lap in, you know, and then sort of see how things unfold from there. Other drivers like to wait a little bit longer, and then they kind of wait for, I don't know, whatever their mindset to be right or whatever their thinking is, and then they'll go out and set lap time. So, you know, let us know in the comments what kind of driver you are. Are you the type of driver who likes to wait a little bit, or do you like to just get a lap out of the way? Or, you know, let us know. If you've set a really good lap time, do you still go out for another run in qualifying, even if you can get through just for that experience? Just let us know.
Have you got Harrison on there? Harrison needs another invite, apparently, by Jake Wilson in the comments.
Harrison needs another invite. Well, let's just go to invite friends. Harrison has not added me as a friend, I don't believe. Let me just go to Race Director quickly and see if I can see his name in there.
Should be able to.
No, unfortunately, I don't have any details on him. If you can ask Harrison to please add me, or Harrison, if you can hear me, RDW123. And as soon as you do,
if anyone is friends of Harrison, just
yeah, just quickly ping him an invite if you didn't mind while you're currently, you know, in the pits or whatever you're doing.
Right, Luke's going to invite Harrison back.
Thank you, Luke. That's very kind of you. And while that's happening, I'm just going to go get my other headset because the battery's dying in this one, and we're just riding on board now with Nightwing, as I like to say, he likes to get out early every time. So that's his sort of strategy, and hopefully he's not going to bail the car. He's on the medium tyres. I think that's a good strategy for most drivers. Someone on the soft. See where Irish is at. Irish is just about fit. He's out lap and go past the start finish line now. And then Idenzo, who we know set an absolutely blistering lap time in Q1, so keep an eye on him. Siege, Cryptic, Alibo, well done for making it through. Then Cowie. Quite a lot of drivers actually getting out quite early today, so makes it more interesting for us commentating, I guess, and for us viewers watching. And Bradfield's also out, and Bradfield's not too far away from, I believe ahead of him is Cowie. So, hopefully Bradfield and Cowie aren't going to sort of compromise each other here.
No,
Bradfield's on his out lap. Yeah, Bradfield's on an out lap, apologies. So that's all good. So far, yeah, very, very, very good respectful driving from all the drivers, leaving enough space. No one set a time just yet. Nightwing's decided to come in on the medians. Not too sure if he got better depth and some compromise there. And Irish New Potato now. TTG Sean with the 116.622. We know 115s are the times we really want to be seeing. So some time to be worked on there by Mr. TTG Sean 93. And just riding on board here with Irish Nude Potato and just seeing how he negotiates this final part of the track. He's already in 8th gear there, which is absolutely fantastic, and DRS wide open. No, he slowed right down, so it looks like he's not going to set... Ooh. He slowed right down there. I think he's in a top 5. He just wanted to get a lap in, get a feel for the track. Fair enough. Cowie's just done a 115.8, so now we're seeing a bit more of the 115s that we're more familiar with in this league. And then none of the other drivers, Idenzo still to set a lap time. Siege just about to finish his lap now. Absolutely maxed out the ERS there. Well done. He's absolutely fantastic, that Siege. 115.5 again. And if you look, he maxed that ERS out just as he comes through the start finish line. Which means he's actually used all the energy in the car perfectly. Like maximum usage of the recovery system. That's fantastic. Idenzo ahead here of TTG Sean. I think TTG Sean is now picking up a nice little bit of a toe off his teammates. So I don't know if that's a strategy they've worked out together. But fair play, lads, if you have. That's good teamwork. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. People might not like it, but it's good teamwork, man. Oh, Jay Bradfield, you need to slow down.
Just touch the curb, it's ridiculous.
And well done. Now we have it. Idenzo. So yes, Idenzo and TTG Sean. I do think they were doing the toe there. Idenzo ahead, TTG Sean behind, and getting a little toe off Idenzo for his lap. And we'll see sort of what time he's going to put in. But yeah, well done to Idenzo, not quite in the 114.9s at the moment, but a 115.198 is pretty much, you know, the 200th off the flat. So yeah, well done. That's really good. And then motor drivers now coming back in from their laps, obviously, just to sort of, you know, have a look at other drivers, check the times, where can they improve, and then I'm sure with 5-6 minutes to go, we'll see a whole bunch of drivers going out again. But yeah, so far very good. Quite exciting, you know, because the times are getting back to the times that we've seen, which means there's consistent drivers in this league. And consistency is key to having a good race. If everybody races consistently, then we should be in for a fantastic race, and respectful, of course. Remember to leave space, and there's a couple of tricky corners here where it looks like you can overtake, but do not even attempt the move. And now we just see Nightwing. For some reason, we've gone out on the soft, or we went out on the medium, didn't set a time, went back in, pitted, don't quite know why, but again, back out again, and I don't know why I've got so much focus on Nightwing tonight. I think he keeps coming out straight away in qualification sessions, so wish him well. A lot of the drivers there coming out of turn 3 there, which is the big right-hander arc, don't go wide in my opinion. They sort of cut the corner. Guys, go wider there. Open up the steering wheel sooner. Open up the throttle sooner. Come on, let's do this. This is the Premier League, for crying out loud. You can't let the guys in the Championship be driving better than you, boy. It's not acceptable. And well done, Jay Bradfield, who's just put in a 1:16.747. I don't know where that will, if that will be good enough to get into Q3 at the moment, but so far he is in P5, and that's good. Done 2 laps on the medium tyres. I recommend you probably go back and you know, chill for a bit now, because you don't. The game's got a bad glitch, right? Let me explain, right? If you select harder tyres, everybody, you're supposed to get a couple of sets of soft, a couple of sets of mediums, couple of sets, 3 sets of hards, if memory serves right. What happens is you get nothing. You just get 1 set of medium and softs. So what happens when you come into this session, you got 1 set of mediums, you want to do more than 1 or 2 or 3 laps, it becomes a real big nightmare, because as you use the tyres more, you're going to lose time, you know. So probably the ultimatum that Mr. Bradfield's in here. So maybe change your strategy in a bit and go soft hard. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll come back to that.
I think I'd rather keep on the mediums, but I might go out again on these again. I don't know.
All I can tell you is last night on the mediums, I don't know, I was like a man possessed. Something about those mediums in Spain seemed to suit the track. A bit like medium tyres in Monaco versus soft tyres. The mediums are way better in Monaco than the softs. And Irish New Potato now. Funniest flying lap. And I'll just get down to the comments in a minute, everybody. And apologies if we're not riding on board with all the cars quickly enough and fast enough and keeping up. There's so much stuff going on in this particular night. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'm a lonely championship driver today, says Luke. Jake S has a 5-place grid for illegal blocking, says Jake Wilson. Payne's Dead says, what? Why am I not in Q2? The stupid pitch where you join late in quali and it kicks you out. It happens to Payne's. Harrison needs another invite. Yeah, it's a glitch if you join late. It's a glitch, mate, sometimes when you join late. Right, a lot of people just concurring here on this glitch of the game, and, you know, obviously there are many glitches still in the game. Codemaster, I guess, I don't know Codemaster, but I hope that they try and find them out. We'll see what happens. But Liam, yeah, just hitting a 115.8 on the mediums. Idenza, a 115.198 on the mediums. Bearing in mind the 114 was on the soft, so that is a really good time on the medium. And then Nightwing has now put a 115.933 1 lap on the mediums, and then TTG Sean a 116.407. Now, let's just talk about the top 5 at the moment, if we don't mind. Top 5 drivers here, 115. Regardless if it's light, if it's kind of towards the end of the 115s or the earlier part.
He's done a 115.1 on the mediums.
Yeah, that's what I just said. That's what I just said. And I'm saying all these drivers in the top 5 at the moment, or even now the top 6, they all set 115. Some low 115, some high 115s. But on medium tyres, ladies and gentlemen, you just have to applaud this type of driving. It is absolutely fantastic. It's the skill and the craft required. If you play the game regularly like myself, it is a skill in itself, you know. Doesn't mean they can go out in their real cars and drive like Formula 1 drivers, of course, but maybe they can, who knows. Luke says guaranteed 13th. Jake Wilson says the tyres are awful. Some people would want to go on hards and it would not let you. And I totally agree, Jake. It's a fair point. It's something that is very frustrating when you as a driver can't actually choose. Like last night, I couldn't choose to start on the hards even though I'd crashed out of qualifying. Like, you should be allowed to do that when you crash out of qualifying. I was like P17. But nonetheless, let's get back to the racing. Less bitching, more racing. And Crooksy here, currently in P7. Who's at risk? Let's think about this. I mean, like, really, 3 drivers at major risk here. Don't know who they are yet. Obviously, Captain Infinity, Cryptic Alibi, and Jake S at the moment. But Jake's just about kind of putting the time here. So we'll just see kind of how he gets on. Jake S 132. Maybe 123 wasn't available. When he gets P7, and that's a 116 almost flat. So he's just creeping shy of the 115. and he's obviously just ahead of everybody below him in the 116. So not a bad place to be for Jake S on the medium tyres. He's done 1 lap on those. Remember, you will start the race on the tyres that you set the fastest time on. So if you've done 3 or 4 or 5, whatever laps, at that point, you know what, even if you set a good time, it's not worth it. Just go and put another set of tyres on, even if it has to be soft, because the mediums are going to run out just because the soft is really done 5 laps on them. It's just common.
I'm going out on the softs.
See, so there you go. Jay Bradfield right there has just basically not taken my advice, but had a similar thought process. Let's call it that.
I'm not quick enough on the mediums.
And only a couple of drivers, I suspect, and don't worry everybody, I know you're thinking, why are all these drivers sitting there? Don't worry, these drivers are going to come out. Idenzo and everybody's going to come out. Idenzo's actually now decided he's going to fit some soft tyres, not too sure why. Maybe he's just putting them on for the lows. Or the lulls, should I say? But yeah, we'll see what happens. Best times. Everybody set the best times so far in the mediums, and what we've got fitted is one driver in Jay Bradfield. The thing is, yeah, no, Jay Bradfield does need to set a better time, unfortunately, so he will have to put a time in those mediums. Interesting. We see a couple of engineers there just in the background, kind of frantically moving around. I don't know if there's a car that's about to come out of the game. It looks like another car is about to come out shortly. And if we just look now, Mr. Bradfield, yeah, as he went past turn 3 there, could have run a bit wider coming out there, but nonetheless, lovely entry to that corner there. Let the car run wide, yeah. Beautiful. Just touch the inside curve, yeah. And we could have touched it a bit more. He didn't want to kiss it. He kissed it from a distance, but nonetheless, fantastic. 7 and 8, tricky corner there. Like I said earlier, can lose the real badly, but he negotiates that absolutely fantastically. Throw it into this right-hander, flat out, a little bit left off the throttle, tap on the throttle immediately, open the DRS flap, straight up to 197 miles per hour, negotiate this left-hander. Now, this is the bit I was talking about. You can ride the curve, or you can do what he just done there. And if you do it like that, you actually match the next corner. So what happens is when you take the left, the next corner suddenly becomes a lot more straighter and less of a corner. So that's where you can gain and lose quite a lot of time. And then for this game, they've actually added those little curves in there. And if you're clever, what you can do is you can get the right-hand wheel, offside front, to just go over that little patch. But that actually puts Mr. Jay Bradfield in a 115.9 on the soft tyres, and will move him into Q3 as it stands. So well done. I know it's soft and everything, hey, not that soft, but he had to. He didn't have a choice. Some things happen, and this is the nature of what happens. And now we see frantically Cryptic Alibi coming out. He crossed over the white line there. I hope he doesn't get a penalty for that. If you look, when he came out of the pits here, he crossed over the white line, which can give you a penalty in the game. Maybe not in qualifying. So just be aware of that, drivers. When you come out of the pit, you must not cross that white line. It's important because it kind of lets the drivers that are racing know where you're going to be in terms of the track position. But Cryptic Alibi didn't affect anybody. I'm not calling him out. It's just a bit of advice. But he does need to set a lap time.
I'm just thinking of potential safety car if it comes out of the first 3 or 4 laps. And I'm not quick enough in the Prem at the minute, so I need to put the softs on.
Jake said would rather be 11th or 12th, or I think he meant on fresh mediums than 8th to 10th on softs. Yeah, but Jake, if the tyres, the mediums, you had done 7 or 8 laps on, and you've done no laps on the softs, I'd rather be on the softs personally. But I do understand what you're saying. So,
yeah, I do.
Just a difference of opinion, but I do understand what you're saying.
I'm just hoping for the safety car, to be honest with you, in the first few laps.
Oh, with the way things are going at the moment, you may be wishing all night, my friend, because I can't see these Premier League drivers having much issue negotiating the first couple of corners, but you never know. And just riding on board here with Cryptic. He is one of the few drivers, as well as I believe TTG Sean, who are trying to set a slightly better time, and Crooksley, who's on an outlap, but he's run horribly right, and he's actually now going to pit, and I think that's the end of it for Crooksley. So yeah, just 2 real drivers here trying. I mean, TTG Sean currently is going to make it to Q3, but obviously he's got Cryptic in his mind, because if obviously Cryptic moves into the high positions, then Cryptic's certainly going to take him out. So interesting things to unfold. We'll ride on board with Cryptic. And we'll obviously keep an eye on TTG Sean. Cryptic's slightly ahead of Sean, so we'll go and see what time he sets first, and then we'll revert back to TTG Sean, and we'll see sort of how he's getting on. But we just see here as he comes into Sector 2, He's pretty much matched his previous time there. So, you know, oh, no, he runs and that's what I was talking about. I was mentioning this to you, where that left-hand curve is. If you touch that curve, that can happen. It unbalances the car, it unsettles the car, and it throws you wide, and then it's really hard to recover. And what we've just seen there is probably, and, you know, there's no time now for Cryptic to, I don't believe he's going to get out of Q2, put it that way. He's going to put a lap time in here, but he's even stopped there, because it's a 121, it's dead, there's no point. And I think TTG Sean on his lap has actually crashed, because I just see it invalidate. So either he retired knowing that Cryptic had an incident and pitted, or he's out. I'm not too sure. Apologies, because when Cryptic went right, I sort of lost my mind for a second. So apologies about that. But we'll find out in a little bit what's happened with TTG Sean. And if any of you do know, then yeah, Sean crashed. Dre said yeah, he's through to Q3, but out. Okay, cool. Understood. Thank you, Jay. Jay's not even here, people, and he's doing a better job than me. Do you know what I mean?
You're alright, mate. You're doing alright. Don't worry.
This is the reality of the situation, everybody. So, yeah, this is why when Jake does the moving of the cars and that, and I've only got to add a few little bits of commentary, it's way easier. But Idenzo also will retire, so he'll be 9th. Sean 10th, 8th in Q3. So, that's right. Idenzo now, he needs to retire and not do anything in Q3. And Luke says bottled it, and I presume Luke is Cryptic Alibi. I suppose that's the name match. Unlucky, Luke. I was cheering for you, Maddie. I didn't know it was you, so now I know I'm even more so cheering for you. But I like the name. It sounded cool, so I was cheering just purely because of your name.
Cheer on the championship drivers here.
Yeah, so unlucky, buddy. But head up, there's lots of strategy options for you now. And take it from someone who started in P19 last night and basically could have got a podium, but just had a little incident, which was just a racing thing. This track's got so much potential to catch drivers. And it's actually kind of, I don't know if everybody will agree with this, but for me, sometimes starting at the back's a bit more fun when you catch people. Because sometimes, like, being at the front, like, there are battles and stuff, but sometimes it's just like 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Whereas at the back, you're like on P20 or P19, and then as you're going up, like P5 and P4 and I don't know, I just find it exciting. But maybe that's just me. I love the races for the people and how, I guess, we all get on. I don't really do it because I'm super competitive and I want to be the bee's knees, you know? So it depends what you want.
That's it.
But there we go. This is our conclusion to Q2, and I don't know about you guys, but gee, time has absolutely flown by. I mean, we're already in Q2, and it sounds, you know, like because of that, it means that we've actually had a really good qualification. I just see that Theo Child, how is everyone? Well, so far, Theo, I can't speak about how everybody's doing on a personal level, but in terms of how the race is doing, how our drivers are doing, everybody seems to be in good form. Everybody's turned up bar one, and we're obviously missing Jake, but he's telling me I'm doing a good job, so I appreciate the thing there. He's not exactly going to say I'm doing a crap job, is he, ladies and gentlemen, right now? Let's be honest. So I'll take that, not with a pinch of salt, just joking, but I'll take that nonetheless. But yeah, moving on swiftly. Says Sean didn't crash. He must have retired on the track. Yeah, and that's what I thought. I think what happened, Jake, is that Sean noticed that Luke, shall we call him, had that incident coming into the sort of final section of Sector 3, and I think he just thought, hang on, I don't need to do anything here. I don't need to waste these, but I'm just going to retire or go in the pit or whatever he chose to do, and job done. But we can see Idenzo has respectfully followed the rule of the Q3 qualification ban, and he has retired the vehicle, and in a way
he'll soon catch up.
Yes, but in a way, you know, it's good he respected the rule, so I'm not got any issues with that, but it's sad that he's done something to get that penalty, because he was so quick that we were expecting a 114 from him in this Q. This session is the most exciting for me, ladies and gentlemen. This is where I like really start getting like really excited, thinking, shit, like now we're going to see really, sorry to swear, but really going to see how good the drivers are. So we put something back, this is, you want to set your best lap time now. You can get away with that, you know, getting P9 in Q2 and just getting through. You can get away with being P11 in Q1. But you cannot get away with being P10 in Q3. You want to be P1, and this is where we see the real drivers. We just see that Irish has done something very clever there. Hopefully Nye Wing doesn't get compromised like he did in the Q1, Q2 laps that he done initially. And Irish may be smooth here and be able to pick up a nice little toe just followed by him at Siege. So now we might see some ridiculous times, just purely because we've got this tow going on. I mean, look at all the drivers, they're all kind of close together here. So yeah, interesting times ahead. We just see Nightwing is off he goes from the start finish line. He opens up the DRS flap there. And why have we lost some of the details here? Oh no, what's going on? Hold on. There we go, let's get that back up. It's always good to see what gear they're in and stuff, so people trying to learn the game or see how other drivers do things can actually pick up a little bit of where's the throttle inputs, the braking zones. You see the green bar there at the bottom, that's when they're accelerating. And when they brake, you'll see a big red bar. And you see, look at his braking, it's flat out, then it's low. Look at his acceleration, he slowly opens up the throttle. It's not put your foot down flat. You can't drive a car like that, you know. If you have a 1.2 Clio, it might work, and you won't crash. If you have a big 1,000 brake horsepower engine, that ain't gonna work. Gentle. So, just trying to see here, and Cowie's just coming through the start-finish line also. And yeah, all the drivers except for Jake, S, and Crooksy are now actually out doing laps. And currently, Nightwing is obviously ahead of everybody. He always goes out first, this guy. I don't know what he does. He must just be spamming the square button as soon as the race starts. Go, 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 go. Literally. Oh, Irish New Potato has a massive oversteer and a massive rear wheel spin there and loses some serious time coming out of that corner. And I don't know if that's compromising, but so far we have a 1:15.271 followed by a 1:15.3, and I do believe Irish would have been in the 1:15.1, maybe even the 1:15 flat if he didn't lose his rear there. So unlucky, and we just see Siege now coming through, and he's on his outlap. And Cowie now, and we've got all these drivers on their outlaps at the moment on their laps. A lot of times coming up now. Jay Bradfield just hit a 1:16, TTG Sean just did a 1:16, so Jay Bradfield a 1:16.4, Irish New Potato 1:15.3, and now we're slowly starting to get more of a feel for how this grid's going to line up. Just looking now at Siege, currently got himself a purple sector 1, doesn't actually mean anything in the game anymore. And oh my goodness gracious, Cowie of the 1:14.6, sorry Cowie, they missed you again. Oh, we owe Cowie, such an apology tonight. What a lap, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't get to see it all, but we will keep eyes on him in the race, and we will obviously keep eyes on him. They have a 1:14.618 on the soft tyres with 7 minutes 50 seconds to go in Q3. Fantastic, and I can only do one thing except I hope you can all hear me clapping there, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what I'm fucking doing. I am clapping, and I apologise for swearing once again. Jake asked me to worry about the language tonight, and 2 times now. So yeah, well done. And Nunda saying the race should have started. Nunda, what do you mean by that, sorry? Let us know what you mean by that. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to pay too much attention to that right now. Even Jake's asking, what do you mean, mate? So we'll see. But yeah, Leo Neo's going into the pits. Knight's going into the pits, Irish into the pits, TTG Sean now trying to get his time up here, and just absolutely blitzing the car through here, opens up the DRS flap, and let's just see how this all goes for him. A 1:16 flat, and then we've got Jay Bradfield who's gone in the pits, we've got Jake S who's now out on his flying lap, and he's obviously waiting for the track to be a little bit more clearer, and he runs nice and left to the right, left-hand side of the track there, throws it into the right-hand side, rides the curve on the right-hand side there, and absolutely blitz it through turn 3 here, runs the car wide into the left hand side of the track. Fantastic. Another right hander late on the brakes here, turns in 2 gears down, 1 gear up to short shift to make sure you don't lose the rear wheel. And this is this looks like it's quite well put together at the moment from Jake S. Yeah, this is looking good. I'm just gonna ride on board with him, no pressure. Lovely negotiation there, 7 and 8. 9 and 10 coming up. 13.15 coming up. Absolutely thrown into the left-hander. Yeah, come on. Touch that. Kiss it. Beautiful. What an absolutely fantastic left-hander there. Beautiful there. Car is a little bit unstable by the balance, but he just brings out the rear wheel just in time to get the traction back. A little bit of oversteer there. Just runs that right-hander. And this is the tricky bit of the track. Yeah, win or lose, this is the place to be in. Oh, not too bad, but a little bit of wheel spin coming out of there. And where's this going to give him? Open up the DRS flat, and let's just see where he's going to end up. And so far, that gets him up to P5, a 1:15. I did say you put that lap very well together. I mean, a 1:15.386 is very good. So well done, Jake S. Riding on board with you, that looked very, very well put together, my friend. And it looked very, very consistent, which is what you need above and beyond anything else in the race. You want to be consistent. Myself, And Jake Bradfield and Jake Wilson, prior to this, we were actually discussing a little bit about, do you want to be the quickest in a single lap or have better racecraft? And some of us sort of said no, because we are quicker in a single lap. So we said no, we prefer the race pace, and those that had the race pace preferred the quicker lap pace. So you're always going to want the opposite. Yeah, Jay Bradford always puts himself down, ladies and gentlemen, but, he's a great admin and he's a great car to race with. And to be fair, he's fair, and that's the main thing. Clap, 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 really good times, Linda said. And Linda says, I said qualifying is moving slower than the race should have started. And Jake said, why is Jake not commentating? And Theo Child, let us know, you're not happy with the commentary team tonight?
He's watching darts.
Why are you asking this question? Are you not happy? You're not happy with the stream? Let us know how we can improve. He's not around anymore. He's left us. He's deserted us for the darts. The shameful man.
Someone throw a fucking dart at a fucking board.
And yes, he does.
Is he more exciting than watching this?
Yeah, he thinks that's better than you lot, basically. No, I'm just joking. He loves you lot, really. Don't leave. He'll absolutely come shout at me down the mic. What are you doing? So yeah, no, that's just a joke. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, he is entitled to a life. As much as he loves you all, he is entitled to have the night off. Let his hair down, have a drink or two, not worry too much about the commentating. But yeah. Theo Chow, seeing as you were concerned, let us know if there's anything we need to do better. Or if you only like Jake, just say I only like Jake, and we'll accept that.
Yeah, we won't get offended, don't worry.
Siege now just putting a 114.8, so again, 2 drivers, and Nice New Potato on a 114.9. So wow, drivers now really, really, really putting in blistering lap time. And let's just see if Liam Lier can get himself into the 114. But I can't actually believe what I'm seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. 114.6, 114.8, 114.9. Gee, these guys are so close together. How do you even find time between a 114.821 and a 114.925? I mean, there's always time to find, of course. There's no such thing as the perfect lap, but oh, goodness gracious. And Theo says, okay, Jake. He hasn't answered my question. He clearly doesn't like the commentating. And then Jake says, exactly, mate, I got my daughter board up, having a drink and watching Premier League darts. Last 7 weeks, not had a Friday or a Saturday night off at all. And we wish you well, Jake. And let's see how Liam gets on. And don't forget, we've got Jay Bradford also out on the out lap at the moment. And we've got TTG Sean coming out the pits now. Let's just see how Liam... I wonder if Liam and Sean are going to get in something later. That Ferrari looking very, very well composed, unlike the real Ferrari at the moment. Absolutely flying down there. Wonder what sector time he's going to set here in sector 2. Because he came into that sector quite nicely and he was up in his belt. So let's just have a look, throws it into the left hand here. Well, loses the rear a little bit there, and that would have got started himself. Very tricky part of the track, that. Honestly, really tricky part of the track. Just catches you off guard. You can see Sean getting out of the way there, so well done to Sean.
Oh, bollocks, I was fucking miles ahead there.
I know, and Jay Bradfield's also got another date lap again. I think it keeps happening at turn 7, 8. Must keep happening at turn 7 and 8.
Fuck, I don't think I've got enough fuel now.
No, 8 is not a bad place to begin, I guess.
I ain't got enough fuel to do it. Fuck, Oh, they've got the 115, so I'd have been happy with that.
And Liam, something's happened to Liam. I'm not too sure. I don't think he's retired. Maybe he has because he's at the pits. But will he retire with the 115.2? Doesn't he think he can do better than that? I don't know. It's weird. Maybe there just wasn't enough time to get back out, I guess. So he's retired on the board and abandoned the lap. And Cowie now out, and Siege out, and these guys are really pushing now. Irish, Cowie, Siege, they're the ones to watch out for. Really going to be pushing now and trying to get themselves, obviously Cowie at the moment has got P1. And he will start at pole, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Fucking hell, it's 5 temps up there. Fucking ridiculous.
And Cowie, Siege, and let's just see if he wins out. That's absolutely blitzing it. Got all the DRS and the ERS, and he's ready to go. So, and Irish is also now, he's got Crooksy ahead of him, so hopefully Crooksy's going to get out of his way. Oh, massive snap there. Irish is pitting. How bizarre. So this looks like a 2-horse race at the moment for P1, and it's between Cowie, who's after sector 3 is actually 17 millionth second of his previous time. It's absolutely nothing really, it's probably like a hairline, but let's just see how he actually finishes this lap. I don't know if he's going to improve in his time. No. I don't think Siege is going to improve in his time either. Currently, oh no, Siege spins. No, as I said that, curse of the commentator. Curse of the commentator, everybody. He's literally, as I've read gone there and thought, oh, maybe he can. No, he's not. And then we just see come flying there's TTG Sean. And where's Sean going to end up? Let's just have a look here. And then obviously, who else we got out on track at the moment that could make up? I think we've got Knight on the track. You can see where Knight's going to finish then. Oh, Knight's like literally, I think it's 1 millionth of a second, you know, slower than his previous time, which is nothing again, so unlucky for him. And so far, this looks like it's going to be our starting grid. So let's just see if TTC Short can unsettle the top 3 or anything like that. And it doesn't look like he's going to, no. And Jay Bradfield obviously now starting in P8. And I think Jake S is the only other driver that we're waiting to get over the start-finish line here. And again, he's going slow, so I think I honestly do think this is the conclusion. I can't see anybody else. So well done to Cowie, who will be on pole.
Well done, mate. Drive so far, yeah.
Nice run that time.
Yes.
And then where's Idenzo, P9, but he retired straight away.
Yeah, he's got a quality ban, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, but how's he ahead of Crooksy? Doesn't make sense. That's a weird one. I don't really know what to say about that. Adam's asking, how's the darts, Wilson? And that's a big laughy face. How are you, Adam? Let us know how you're doing. Adam's my teammate in
it's like watching paint dry, watching darts, mate, so...
Yeah. Theo's ignoring me. I've asked Theo in the comments chat, is he not happy with the current commentary? I've asked him over air, and he's ignoring me. Theo Chow, apologies, buddy. Don't meet the standard. Jake will be back next week. We can give him all the praise he wishes.
Yeah, Luke, darts is a bit boring. It's like watching paint dry, mate. Fucking shit.
And Luke says it's a bit boring now without the crowd, in my opinion, to watch anyway. Loving it, mate. Van Gogh and about. Well done, Jake.
Shit, and it normally is.
So let's just focus our attentions here to our top 10 drivers, and we just have to absolutely say fantastic job by Cowie there with a 114.618 and Siege a 114.821.
Watching darts is still brings more excitement than watching Norwich.
Luke, excuse moi.
Zach said prefer to watch Norwich than darts. Well, thank you, mate. Do you know what? I'd rather put fucking pins in my foreskin and watch darts. Fucking hell.
Can you hear me again? Cool, man. Testing. Cool. Right. So, sorry about that. My headset died for a second, but luckily it happened just on the cusp of Q3 ending and the race starting. So there's nothing to worry about, and we should be good for the entire race now. And if we do get cut off for a second, then we've obviously got the lovely Jay Bradfield in the party, and he'll just keep you entertained for a couple of seconds. But We've got here, Crooksy didn't set a time. Idenzo was quicker than him in Q2. Would rather watch paint dry than watch Justin try and get around a corner on this track without spinning. Oi, Jake, don't be mean to Justin. Listen, you're not even here tonight. You have no right. We've let you have the day off. God's sake.
Let him watch the boring old darts, mate.
The lack of gratitude from this man, can you believe?
Oh, I couldn't imagine it.
So we just got now a formation lap, so there's not anything to get too excited about here. Don't worry, I haven't missed the start of the race, everybody. And Zach says Justin on the podium. What else happened here? Jake says, let's all have a bet. How many laps before Justin spins? I'll start. Lap 1. This is not acceptable commentary, ladies and gentlemen. I will not stand for this. Leave my buddy Justin alone and beep, beep off. Do you understand me, people? Luke says, I'd rather watch...
pressure on me now.
He has, isn't he? Don't worry, mate. Just don't accelerate at all when you can't spin. Do you know what I mean? Luke says, I'd rather watch Accrington Stanley than Norwich. At least they score goals. Nunda, lap 2, Justin on the podium. Don't forget Spectator's menu, mate. What do you want with the Spectator's menu? You want it on? You want it off? What do you want? You want to see the times that people are setting? Let's get it all up.
Certainly will be nowhere near the podium. It'll be more at the back.
Let us know if that's alright. Okay, anyway, I'm not reading any more comments about my friend Justin, everybody. You can all booger off.
Take the piss as much as you want.
Yeah. I have confidence in him. And if it weren't for him and Mr. Wilson, we wouldn't have this league to race in. So just mind your P's and Q's, alright, everybody? Don't have to get all military on you lot. Anyway, let's get a little bit of the Cowie, the Siege, the Irish, the Liam, the Knight, the TGG Sean, and the J Bradfield, the Igenzo, the Jake S, the Crooksy, the Serious Mushroom, the Cryptic Alibi, the Captain Infinity, the Jockey Hockey, the Harrison One, Ozan J Story, Scorpa, Alfonso Boss, and YT Payne. Good luck to all you drivers. We look forward to an absolutely epic battle. Just change the details to tyres. Alright. Details, tyres. There you go, Mr. Wilson. As you can see, I have the boss watching every eye, every movement that I do. He's watching. He's like the eye in the sky. Jake Wilson, he's not watching darts. He's watching us. He's just lying about watching the darts. Anyway, we have some engines revving up. And we have some lights starting up. And we just have a lovely aerial back view. And as we see the lights light out, and away we go, and we see all the drivers pulling off and the wheel spinning, we can now get a real good look for how this, and we see that Cowie and Siege are actually having a little drag race, and we see that between the Ferrari, the Alpha Tauri, and the Ferrari and Alpha Tauri are absolutely close together there, and they just absolutely squeezed out the Renault, but the Renault's not having any of it from Irish New Potato, and he's actually, fortunately, I think, lost the position there, but well done to Cowie, who seems to maintain. Oh, Irish has just come on the absolute outside. I don't know if you saw the aerial view of that. On the outside of these two drivers here, the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri, and he's actually made the position up there on the AlphaTauri so far, but the AlphaTauri's got the inside line there coming into turn, I believe 5 that is, and let's just see how this unfolds. No, Irish hasn't gained that place, and Idenzo's following in P6 at the moment, so Idenzo's moved a few positions up from P9, 3 positions up already. Well done, Idenzo. And Cowie's still maintaining, and he's now about half a second, 600ths of a second ahead, so well done, followed by Sean, followed by Liam, followed by Irish. Jake Bradfield's down in P10 at the moment, so obviously he's lost a few positions, probably had a bit of wheel spin on the start. He is on a steering wheel and pedals, where some drivers on a controller. It does make a big difference, you know, so just give him a bit of time to make those positions up in a bit. But well done to Cowie, who's now almost a second, well, 700ths of a second ahead, followed by Siege, followed by Liam Year, and then Irish New Potato, who had a little bit of a squiggle in the beginning start of the race, apologies, into turn 3, 4 and 5. But following him is Knight, and we see now the lobby's getting all messed up, and it's telling us that Jay Bradfield's in P1. That's not the case. Cowie's in P1, Siege is in P2, Liam's in P3, and then followed by Irish in this order that we see here, alright? So just ignore those top sort of 4, 5 drivers there for now. I'm sure that will sort itself out in a bit. But we see we've got a yellow sector 1, and I believe that is a hat. And I believe that is YT Paynes and Harrison 671, and I'm not too sure what's happened there. Something's happened to compromise these drivers, yeah. And then quite far at the back, we've got Jay Story. So we'll have to look back later and try to understand what happened there, if any of you saw what happened. But yeah, unlucky for those drivers there. It looks like there was some sort of incident. But nonetheless, we haven't had a safety car or anything out. We just had a warning in Sector 3, in Sector 1, should I say. And now we're getting back to full throttle racing. Currently, Cowie's actually kept maintaining the gap of 1 to 1.5, 1.1 seconds, should I say, from Siege. So Siege doesn't have DRS, and then Siege, is maintaining a gap of about 1 to 1.2 seconds from Liam, and that means that but Irish New Potato is staying within the slipstream of Liam, as well as Nightwing, so these drivers do have it. And then we just see our Denzo here now getting very, 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 very excited about coming down the right-hand side of Nightwing. He doesn't make the move there because it would have just been absolutely ridiculous to try to do it at that point. But he's obviously again within the DRS zone. So as we get into lap 3 now, the DRS will be activated by race control, and that will give the drivers the ability that when they find the DRS zone, the DRS detection zone, to be in the DRS time, which is 1 second, and then obviously to open that flap and go breezing past the car ahead. So yes, quite a lot of exciting racing that's about to come up. Given that we've had a good start, we don't seem to have lost any drivers yet. We've had a couple of drivers who had some hiccups there, I'm not too sure, but we haven't lost drivers, and that's the most important. So well done to all our Premier League drivers tonight. Nice and clean and smooth on the opening 3 laps of this race in Spain, Espanyol, Catalunya de Barcelona, and very excited that it's not raining, because I don't like watching, I like watching real wet races, but I hate watching esport races. I think they're rubbish. So it's great that it's sunny. And we can see Jay Bradfield there, 2 laps. He's currently in P10, and again, he will get the DRS of Jake X, but so will Jake X get of Crixie. So we're just going to have a bunch of cars here, all with DRS and maximising the speed coming out this final corner here. So yeah, pretty exciting. You see there, the counts down there, it gives him the meter board, and there he opens up the DRS flap. He presses down on the overtake button, and we can see the Williams now getting over 204, 5, 6, 7 miles per hour. And Jake's just there, but Bradfield thinks twice about that one. He has to brake early, he doesn't want to go to the back of him. Gets a little bit of dirty air there, and you can see how affected Jay Bradfield there. You can see that dirty air is just helping him not to keep the car. You see I ran a little bit wide there, that's the dirty air coming from Jake. So what he might do on the next one is he might actually take a different line from Jake S and just keep his car out of that air, like there. You see, he just kept it a little bit cleaner, and just try to get a little bit more cleaner air and cool those tyres down, because he is on the soft in the last thing round. And we've lost Alfonso Boss. No, I don't know what's happened, but we've lost Alfonso Boss. Oh, that's terrible. And Scorpa too. Scorpa and Alfonso Boss have left. No, this is terrible. And Nightwing's just got a 3-second penalty, and I don't know what's happened all of a sudden. As I just paid compliments to all our Premier League drivers, we seem to have immediately had an issue, and it actually looks like Scorpa, I don't know if he has retired or what. It says that he left. The car's still there. His name's not, but I'm not too sure what's going on. We'll come back to that in a bit. They weren't in prime position to win the race, so although we don't want anybody to leave or be out of the race, we haven't missed too much entertainment there. And now Sector 3's got a yellow flag. I mean, at one point this game was just giving safety car after safety car. They've done an update now. It never seems to give a safety car. It just seems to give like yellow flags and whatever. So interesting. But Irish New Potato just set an absolutely blistering 118 there, and he's made his way up to P3 after overtaking Liam. Yeah, and well done for him. And now he's looking at the back of Siege and thinking, hey, I need to go catch you, my friend. So let's just have a look with the details of the position changes here. And I don't know why it's not showing the position changes for the top 4. I think that's because actually they're back to where they started, which is great. But Idenzo, 3 places up. Nightwing, 1 place down. TGG Shawn, 1 place down. Crooksy, 2 places up. Jake S, level. Bradfield, unfortunately, 3 places down, but, looking very friendly and cozy at the back of Jake S there. And then Coach Gallagher up 1 place. Ozan up 4 places. Jockey Hockey up 1. And YT Plains up 4. The rest all down on position. Serious Mushroom 6 places down. Unlucky to him so far. So we'll just see how that develops a little bit later. But let's just go back from position change back to tyres. We've got 100 comments now, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's fantastic. Really appreciate your support. And I'm just going to try and run over those. Timing always messed up, mate. Stupid service. J Story lost it. It's Payne's ghosting. Alfonso retired. Scorpa needs an invite. So does Train. Scorpa needs an invite. Let's get Scorpa an invite. Hopefully he added me as a friend. It was told to all drivers to add RDWE as a friend, so that if this did happen, then we could get you back in. And I don't know if I have X Scorpa. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, while I just quickly try to get these drivers back in there.
Oh.
No, unfortunately I don't, and this game's so ridiculous that when I go to his name, because he's not in the session anymore, it won't let me view his profile. So, Scorpa, you need to send me an invite. You need to add me, and so does YT Pains if you want to get back in. Very important that you add me. I'm unable to add you while racing, and we'll just get back to the racing now. Apologies for that disruption, everybody. Nanda says, are you sure it's Bradfield driving? Yes, it definitely is, sir. Mind your own business. And Jay Bradfield is currently now up to P8. Well done. And he's looking at the back of Jake S. And, like I said, he's 1.1 seconds out of the zone by 100th of a second at the moment. So let's hope that he can make that time up through the next DRS detection zone and get closer. But we can see Jake is pulling away a little bit. Maybe those soft tyres are just falling away. So maybe Brady will go for the undercut pit early and go. We've got another yellow flag at Sector 3, and it's a Renault from what I see. And it looks like it may be Crooksy. And something's gone horribly wrong for Crooksy there. And coming at the back of Crooksy is the Alpha Tauri, and don't get caught speeding in the pit lane, boys. And Liam has also left the session now, which I don't think he wanted to leave. Oh, what is going on? Drivers are either being booted from this or something, and that's never good. These drivers that are going, they need to add me. Guys, I don't know if you can hear. I'm going to post it in the group chat, but you need to add RDW123 on PSN.
Oh shit.
Sorry that we're not getting too much. There's just so much going on here. We're trying to get people back in. Alfonso said he did. I'm not getting these, guys. I'm not getting any notifications that you've tried to add me as friends. So you're adding the wrong person. Lots of people add me. I do apologise that this is interfering with the stream and the race. But give us 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. What a nightmare this is. Okay, who else needs an invite? So I've sent one to Liam. Jake Wilson, just post on YouTube. Who else needs an invite, please? Because this is disrupting the streams a little bit. Serious Mushrooms just left now. What is going on here, guys? Why is these drivers all suddenly getting booted? I mean, this is ridiculous. I do apologise. This game really does need to sort itself out. It's ridiculous. You send invites, people request you, they don't come through. It's just a mess. Liam, you should have an invite. Who else needs an invite? Oh, goodness. And Joe Bradfield's actually going to pit now. And sorry about this, but we've missed quite a lot of the race. And I'm just going to assume that everybody's got an invite now, or they're back in, or they're not going to be able to get back in. I don't know. But I'm going to continue to do the commentary, because unfortunately it's too hard to do 50 things at once. And it's not fair on the drivers who are in the race, because they're not being commentated on. So let's just kind of have a little bit of an update. We've got a lot of different things happening with this lobby now. We've got times missing, we've got interval times missing, we're on 10 laps. But we've got Carol in the lead. We are followed by Siege, followed by Denzo, followed by TTG Sean, followed by JKS, followed by Liam Yeah, who I believe is not actually back in here, followed by Cryptic Alaba, and I'm just trying to see if there's any drivers from their ghosting or anything that isn't in here. Irish is in here, Jay Bradford in here, Harrison could do with an invite. I think Jake Wilson left the session and he may have been hosting, I'm not too sure. I don't know if that's what went wrong, I'm not too sure. But yeah, Harrison, add me, I'll add you back in. YT Paynes 2, let's see if I've got him. Goodness, this has turned out to be a little bit of a mess, everybody. And just kind of ruins the whole thing. No. No, because I don't have these other drivers, unfortunately.
It's not your fault, mate.
You know, like YT Payne's dead, I don't have him because I think he came quite late. And now we see Knight's just retired and I think he's had an accident. And I'm sorry, I mean, the commentary is it's not good enough now because we're missing so many crucial bits of the race. Jake said I've jumped back in and sent everyone an invite. It kicked me now. Alright, Jake said invite him back in. Sorry. Guys, I do apologise about this. I mean, I intended for this to be quite a pleasurable night for you. It's all turned out to be a bit of a nightmare. We've got Theo who's unhappy with my commentating, obviously. And now we've got all this stuff happening. So where's Jake Wilson? There he is. We'll just get him back in here. He's far superior than me at this sort of stuff. And apologies. We've got drivers coming and going. Times coming and going, people coming and going, things disappearing. It's like, geez, Irish New Potato's just retired. Irish New Potato's just retired. I repeat, Irish New Potato has just retired. He was up in the podium at B3 and he has just retired. He put on the hard time and it says did not finish. I don't know what's happened. I don't know. Sarah's Mushroom now is just like absolutely slowing down because we've got a virtual safety car here. Just remember the Delta, ladies and gentlemen. When you have that virtual safety car, it doesn't mean like stop the car. Cowie currently 2.8 seconds ahead of Siege. But now with a virtual safety car out, both done 11 laps on the medium tyres. Jake Wilson's now joined us back in here. Well done to Jake. And we've lost 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers so far. Irish New Potato, Nightwing, Crooksy and Alfonso Boss. So unlucky to those drivers, either through no faults of their own, it being a Codemaster issue, or purely because they have, I think in Irish's case, as much as I love you Irish, I think you made a boo-boo there.
I've got a drive-through.
How? Captain Infinity also has a drive-through penalty. So Jay Bradfield,
That's bullshit.
Jay Bradfield and Captain Infinity. We'll have to get that reviewed. If you just send your footage in, we'll have that removed and reviewed, should I say? And if it's warranted, it will be removed. But for now, let's keep our heads down. Let's focus on the race. You've done 1 lap on the mediums. The other drivers have done 11 to 12 laps on either hard or medium tyres. You are 20 seconds out of P8. Technically, if all those drivers pitted now, you would be in P1. So head down, okay? Forget about that for now, and let's get our head down, Bradfield. And reckon you can get a good result in here. And shut some of our critics up that have been criticising you. And keep them quiet. Put them at bay. And
that's bullshit.
I know, mate. I know. Idenzo in P3, Jake S in P3. Who's going to pit first? You know, here comes the game of who's going to pit first. I think Harry's probably thinking soon will be a right time to start pitting. He just saw how the rear wheels there of the Ferrari were getting a little bit lively around that sector 7, 8, 9 and 10. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But lost a couple of drivers, unfortunately. Nonetheless, it's been a really good race. 13 laps, and I was spot on. Cowie's thought about pitting, and in he goes. And we'll Siege will go one more lap now, and Siege will try to say, can I put in a really good blistering lap time there and try to build a bit of a gap between myself and Cowie so that when I pit. And who else is pitting? Cowie pits, Jake stayed out, TTG Sean comes in, Ozan gets a 3-second penalty, Liam staying out, Ozan not quite at the negotiating bit of the pit entry, Cryptic Alibert. Now this is Jake's time to shine. Jake, you've got to make some time up here, buddy, come on. Don't lose time here, slow it down, get it all perfect, come on. Because this is a good opportunity. Let's see where these guys are. Oh, it's going to be tight, guys, coming out the grid. Ooh. There we go now. Jay Bradfield's closed that gap down. Look how close he is to Cryptic Alibert now. He's 1.5 seconds away. So that's really good. He's made up some good positions there, and that could actually work out to be quite a good strategy late in the race. So yeah, all the drivers that... oh, what's going on yet? Siege is going to pit. Yeah. And where does that put Idenzo? And Jake S. and Cowie. And Liam, are they going to now come get their places back? Or Cowie, certainly. Oh, it's getting very interesting now because obviously the strategy is unfolding here. Idenzo's gone into pit, he's going on the hard. Siege has gone in on the hard. They're both trying to get out in time. Cowie now moves back up to P1. Liam now moves into P2, but he's done 14 laps on those medium tyres. And now we've got a lot of drivers who've gone out on the hard here. We just see TTG Sean's finally pitting, and he's also probably going to go on the hard. And yeah, Idenzo now, 1.7 seconds out of P3, so I don't know what's happened there. Something's not worked out properly in that whole strategy, but we'll sure make those places back up. But well done, Cowie now in P1. And let's just have a quick look here. And our position changes, so Cowie where he started, Liam had 2 places up, but obviously still due to pit. Siege 1 place down, Idenzo 4 up, Jake S 4, Cryptic 6, and Jockey Hockey 7. A lot of these drivers haven't pitted yet, yeah, so just calm down. Don't think it's all over yet. But yeah, great racing so far, definitely. Apart from the issues of people stuff. Jake S and Sean battling. Yeah. There was a little battle earlier, it's not happening now. I'm just trying to see where the drivers are. The nearest battle now is going to be Captain Infinity trying to make his way up on Jay Bradfield, and Siege trying to make his way up on Liam, but Liam's pitting, so there's not really much of a battle to watch there. So we'll go see here what Captain Infinity can try to do to give Mr. Bradfield a bit of a headache. Bearing in mind, these guys are mainly on hard tyres. Jay Bradfield starting the soft, he's gone medium. I don't know if the mediums will go to the end there, Mr. Bradfield, but good luck. Should do, maybe.
They won't. I need the safety car.
And Jockey Hockey, I mean, he's now really, you know, Cryptic Alibert, 15 laps on the hard tyres, it says. Is that true? TTG Sean, 3-second warning. Liam, yeah, just pits and managers come out in P5 on the new set of hard tyres. And we just see here him and Cryptic having a little battle, and will Cryptic get the move done here? Oh, he's not got a lot of overtake. Let's see how this goes. He's running quite nicely. You can pick up a really lovely toe from him, but he can also get some really bad air. And just keeping an eye on the times there. I mean, the Cowie leading the race now by 3.1, 3.3 seconds. Idenzo then 2.5 seconds behind Siege, and Jake 10 seconds behind that. So really, this is at the moment a 3-horse race at the front. And it doesn't look like Cryptic can actually get near Liam ahead there. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. Jay Bradfield over here, nicely in P9, 5-lap old medium tyres, and doing an absolutely fantastic job. Well done to him. Captain Infinity now is 1.7, so not moving so close to him anymore. And yeah, so far the battle looks like it's down here between P5 and P6. I don't know if Cryptic's been able to get the DRS. He has been able to get the DRS. Let's just see if he has enough DRS and ERS combined to get the move done here on Liam. I'm just going to get a nice aerial view of this and see as they come down. I don't think there is enough time yet, but he's going to be right up the gearbox of that Ferrari coming into turn 1. He has turn 2, nice sweeping long right hand of turn 3, and unfortunately he's lost quite a lot of time there to the Ferrari, so Liam's just having a slightly better exit out of turn 2 and 3 and getting ultimately better rear wheel traction, and that sprung him out of the DRS zone for Cryptic Alibi, which is really unfortunate because I thought we were going to see a little battle over there. And then the next position is, we've got quite a lot of drivers now well spaced out, and unfortunately now as a commentator I don't wish a bad race, and we could definitely do with a safety car just to bring the pack a bit closer together, but we see that Cryptic Alibi is still trying to battle in there to get Liam. We see that Jay Bradfield's quite comfortably just sitting there in P9. He hasn't really got to worry about captain. He's 2.8 seconds away, but at the same time, he hasn't really got, looking at it, he's not feeling confident he's going to catch Sean. So the drivers now, these sort of drivers, TGG Sean, Jay Bradfield, Captain Affinity, Ozan, Cirrus Mushroom, Jay Story, and so on, and co, they will be wishing for a safety car. Drivers like Cowie and Siege, who are way up ahead in the lead, especially Cowie, he'll be thinking, God, I do not want a safety car, please. I'm 3 seconds ahead, winning this, 18 laps so far. I've had a pretty good lap, pretty good race, should I say, and there's going to be, about 2 there, so there's 15 odd laps or whatever it is to go, so yeah, interesting times ahead. Unless there is a safety car, I'm almost certain, unless Cowie spins out, that he's going to win this race. Idenzo, obviously, we've seen some really quick lap times. Obviously, he didn't have the luck of having a Q3 ban, so currently in P3 is not a bad place to be, so well done to Idenzo. And then Jake sort of 11 seconds out of that, and I think at some point Jake may be the one that sort of backs up the pack from 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Might give a little bit of opportunity to the drivers in sort of 7, 8, 9 to kind of make their way up further in the grid. So let's keep an eye on that. But yeah, so far, unfortunately, not much battling going on in the track. Linda says, RDW gets carried away after you didn't even notice the battles. What battles did we miss, Linda? Let us know. And you're more than welcome to come do the commentary in yourself if you want. Let us know. We'll send you an invite and you can run the show. I remember you last night in your Q3 session not being very clever. So focus more on the racing and less on our commentating. The battles. There's no battles, unfortunately, apart from Jockey Hockey trying to make his way up here on Cryptic Alibi. Unfortunately, because we had a crashed server and a lot of drivers got timed out and crashed out, that's left massive gaps between drivers. Whereas when there wasn't those gaps, we obviously had a lot more battles going on. Nunda. Oh, Cryptic Alibi goes very, very, very wide coming out of turn 7 and 8 there, and he absolutely lost the rear, and that's really given some encouragement here to Jockey Hockey. And let's just keep an eye, down the inside, Jockey Hockey in the Mercedes. Oh, that was nice and respectful driving. He gets the move done, well done. Just got to keep it all together here, and then he can go leaping ahead. And Cowie has a 3-second penalty. So currently Siege is 3.5 seconds away from Cowie. If he does manage to get that down to like under 3 seconds or 3 seconds, then yeah, definitely he could have a chance of winning the race. But I don't know, is there any incidents or penalties that have been dished out for Siege? Or will there be any? We'll have to wait and see. YT Payne is out the race. I don't know why these drivers haven't gone invisible yet in terms of their names. Cowie's absolutely flying though, honestly. Lap after lap, he just keeps keeping that 3.4, 3.5 second gap, so that's really good. That's consistent. Jay Bradford comfortably there in P9, and again, people said he's going to spin and all this rubbish, but, you're all eating your words now, including you. So, Jake, you shouldn't have put that little stake up there. Well, they all said lap 1 to 4. You've way past that. So quite frankly, They all lost their bets. And you're going to get a nice little bit of the DRS off these two cars ahead of you, and they're going to be ghosting, so even better. Oh, slow it down, Sonny boy. Yeah, this is now the problem. We've got no real cars battling for a position here, unfortunately. Please, safety car, come out. But again, safety car means someone crashing. Oh, hang on. No, that's just because Alaba pitted. That's moved Jay Bradfield up to P8 and Captain Infinity to P9. And maybe we'll have some more battles now that we've got these cars kind of like pitting and working out different tyre strategies, and we'll see what happens. But so far, unfortunately, if you look at the interval times there is no one apart from Ozan, who's right behind Cryptic, actually. Apologies. There is a little battle going on here. And that is between Ozan and Cryptic Alaba. And Cryptic Alaba has already just pitted now for a fresh set of medium tyres. And I think it's probably just Ozan that was catching him as a result of Cryptic pitting. So I think that, you know, Cryptic's on the fresher tyres here and probably a slightly quicker driver, or Luke. So I don't think there's any chance that Ozan's even going to catch him. So again, not much of a battle to watch. And we see Ardenzo slightly improving his time here. He's kind of closing the gap between him and Siege. It was sort of 2.5 seconds. It's moved down now to 1.3 seconds approximately. So we've got a little battle going on there, I believe, in a little bit. And you can see that gap between Ozan now and Cryptic has actually gone up to 1 second. So Cryptic is now starting to pull away, like I said, on those fresh medium tyres versus those 6-lap old hard tyres. And again, you know, who's just pitted? Jay Bradfield's pitted now, 10-lap old medium tyres he's pitting. So and that's moved him down quite a few positions. Unfortunately, no action is on the track at the moment. We don't have a Monaco type race today, where everybody's all bunched up. We have more of a, gee, where's all the cars at kind of race? Who's racing who? But Ozan still staying within the 1 second of Cryptic Alaba, so you know he is on the hard tyres and those mediums of Cryptic Alaba, so this is actually maybe one to watch out for. I don't want to write this off just yet. Technically those fresher mediums should be better, but yeah, not looking too bad for Ozan. He just seems to be managing, and he's going to get the DRS out of here, so yeah. Jay Bradfield out. And yeah, Idenzo now 2 seconds from Sean, so I don't know if something happened where it cost him 300 of a second. We also got the situation where cars are now lapping other cars, because you've got Idenzo here coming past Serif Mushroom. Jake S now in P4. He's about 15 seconds out. And then Liam, yeah. I mean, all these drivers, not a single driver apart from Ozan is within 1.5 seconds of the car in front. So far, it's turning to be a... it's turning out to be obvious, should I say. A bit boring, a bit obvious. And we haven't heard back from Nunda in his little comments. Where you at, Nunda? With your comments? We want some more comments, some more feedback. He loves a comment. I wonder how Nunda is. How old do you think he is? It's got to be a young guy. He can't be an adult. Nunda, are you an adult or are you a teenager? Let's put it like that. Because I don't believe you're an adult. Based on your comments and the way that you're always available for a chat, I reckon you're on the cusp of becoming an adult. Maybe 16, 17, something like that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to figure out a bit more about you, Nunda, because I see you a lot. I hear from you a lot. Your feedback is always welcomed, and of course we don't mind them, but you know, maybe sometime come join us for a bit of comms or whatever. And let's say you get on. Mate. Yeah, come on board and let us know, yeah. You know.
We have Crazy Bill on a Friday.
unfortunately, I would be more excited, and he said I got carried away with myself. I don't think I missed too many battles, but if I did, I apologise for all those. I'm sure Mr. Wilson will be back next week, and he'll give me some cues, some tips and cues to brushing up on, and things will only get better. Just like your driving when you first started. It wasn't as good as it is now, so everybody, you know, only going to get better. But Idenzo now in P3, you know, trying to close this gap on Siege. We see in Sector 2 a yellow flag, and I'm just trying to see who that is. And that is, ooh, I think it's a Haas. Is it Jay Story? Yes, it is Jay Story. Something happened to Jay Story, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. But it hasn't brought a safety car or anything like that, unfortunately. So we don't have anything to be too excited about. He just had a little technical issue, driver error.
I don't know. Where'd you have it?
And we can see Bradfield's being distracted there by the little one. Always fun and games on a Saturday night when you're doing a league race. Oh goodness, crocodile tears all now. So yeah, Idenzo, I mean guys, I'm struggling to kind of give you something to feed on here. I feel like I'm watching a repeat of the Formula 1 last weekend. We just saw a bunch of cars going round and round and round. You know, we watched Formula 1 because there's some battles. And that's not the driver's fault. I just want to say I'm not digging out drivers here. I'm actually saying, like, you know, this has happened as a result of server glitches and issues. Idenzo, purple sector 3 there, absolutely flying now. Maxing out the ERS though, I've got to be honest with you. Maybe you can get the move done on Siege in the next couple of laps. I'm just going to go through some of the other drivers and just... No one's close. So there's no positions that, you know, these guys that are close, in case you see these battles, this is actually the AI, so there's nothing to watch there. Jay Story manages to get in and get back out with that damage, so again, not a great place to be because of where he was initially, but nonetheless it's fine. And Siege goes a little bit on the curb there, on the entry of the curb there to turn 6, I believe that was. So I'm not too sure if he's just finding these hard tyres are now falling away. I kind of do find in this game the hard tyres or any tyres, they seem to have the beginning sector's good, then they fall away and then they come back. Whereas in the old game they were just good, and then they fell away. So kind of good tyres and bad tyres and back to good tyres, which makes it really confusing. So he might be on that stint of the tyres aren't fitting too great. But yeah, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, not a lot left to say with the remaining laps to go, which is 7, but hopefully at some point Idenzo is going to get a little bit of DRS off the ghost there of YT Pain, can maybe get a move done on Siege. I don't see Siege catching Cowie. And then Jake's not got any, you know, he's 18 seconds away from Idenzo. Oh, hang on, look at this, it's just dropped under a second there. So Idenzo did get, you know, he did actually gain quite a lot. He gained about let's call it 800ths of a second there through that DRS. So he's now about 1 second away from Siege. Siege getting a little bit hairy there with the rear wheels. If you saw, he opened up the throttle there, and I don't think the car was willing to give the bite that he required into that corner. So very unlucky there. And we'll just keep an eye on that and see if that has an effect, because now it's 900s, and that means coming into this right-hander here, the end of sector 2, he is going to get DRS again. He opens up that flap, but he's got no ERS. He's been maxing out the DRS, trying his best to get, like, it's always at 5% when I look, so he's been absolutely blitzing it, trying to, but it does look like Idenzo may, having missed Q3, starting in P9, may find himself on the podium in P2, and Jay Story, they just had a 3-second penalty, and Siege now really struggling with those tyres. Oh, this is going to be interesting coming into the final. I'm just trying to see if there's any other battles. Oh, he's got the DRS. And is he going to get the move done? Let's run on board now and have a look, ladies and gentlemen. Go on! He's just set the fastest lap time of a 1:17.3. He's come blitzing past Siege. Siege has not even tried to battle that. He's got no chance of doing anything there, and he knows that. They're on exactly the same lap on the hard tyres, so they can't say this is down to one having better tyres there. That is just purely down to Idenzo either managing the tyres better or just being slightly more consistent in his lap times throughout the race. And now up into P2, and really I don't think it's possible, but imagine he catches Cowie. I mean, that will be, I know one is dreaming here, but that would be fantastic. Could you imagine someone who started in P9 makes his way to P1 and then gets that position in the last couple laps? He gets, just as I'm kind of paying him all those compliments there in 7 and 8, he gets a very out of shape and that's added encouragement to Siege. So I think we're just going to see a lot of battle now between Siege and Idenzo between now and the end of this race. And thank goodness for that, because it's going to be exciting. Don't forget, Cowie does have a penalty, so that does mean that Idenzo and Siege could move up into P1 and P2. So let's just keep an eye on things, as Jake has said. And Jake says, why have you put on hard, Justin? Please explain.
So I used my mediums already.
You used all these tyres up.
I'd used already.
Siege and Idenzo here have really given us a little, really given us an entertaining show worth watching, that's for sure. Thank goodness for these two towards the end of this race, otherwise there'd be absolutely nothing to talk about, and I do mean nothing. All these drivers are too far apart now. He's half a second out, Siege, from Idenzo. Bearing in mind earlier he passed, Idenzo passed Siege, having originally been about 3 to 3.5 seconds out. In the last 4 laps prior to now, he closed that gap quite significantly. He managed through YT Payne's AI that was ghosting to get DRS through the right-hander at the end of Sector 3, or just before the end of Sector 3, should I say. And then that allowed him to get closer and then get more DRS and then pass him. But now the exact same thing's happening to Siege. This time, Siege has managed to get the DRS out of Idenzo there, coming into the last bit of Sector 2 and 3, in the beginning of Sector 3, sorry. And now we're really going to be able to see who has the bottle to keep it consistent, but also maintain the tyres, as well as get the overtake done and consistently block off the overtake being redone on them. Because between now and the last couple of laps, it's going to keep battling this out. It does look like Idenzo at the moment has a strategy, and that is he's saving the ERS and then blitzing it out. Look at that, 0% ERS. He's literally on flat out overtake. Then he turns it off there, as you can see by the controls on the steering wheel. He builds it back up, whereas Siege has got a bit more of a strategy there. He's building up the ERS and at least maintaining 10 to 14%. So yeah, quite interesting. I do think Siege, with the more ERS efficiency, may get the move done on the final lap, but let's not give any curse to the commentator here. Great driving by both these drivers, like Denver and Siege. But while they're also tripping over each other, it might play into Cowie's hands, because now the gap's now back to 3 seconds, and obviously if Cowie is 3 seconds or above any of them, then he certainly will. He will certainly finish in P1. Exactly what I just said, Jake. Linda says, Bradford, put on your hard, your race is over now. I never believed in you. We never believed in you either, Linda. And come on, Siege and Idenzo. What we got, boys? Boys and girls, if there's a girl in here, I do apologise. Can you get a move done? Jeepers creepers. The fuck, Idenzo is just managing to... Something about the way Idenzo comes into the last part of the track, he's just got absolutely blistering exit out of that turn, and he just gets such a great launch, and then down the straight he's already like sort of 4 or 5 miles or 10 kilometers quicker. So Siege seems to have a better Sector 1 than Idenzo, and then Sector 2 they seem to be pretty level, but Sector 3 is where Idenzo's dominating at the moment. So yeah, quite interesting. Well done to Idenzo, great sort of defending also at the moment. And he really does need to make sure he gets this, under 3 second gap between him and Cowie for a chance of finishing on the podium here. So yeah, pretty interesting. The 1, 2, 3 drivers at the moment giving us a real, well, not so much 1, but 2 and 3 giving us a real battle here. And something interesting, and just maintaining that DRS constantly, Sieges, following Idenzo. Jay Bradfield there in 11th position. So at the moment, not spinning, not out the race, not any of that stuff that people kept saying. Ghosting a little bit at the moment, I'm not too sure why. Oh, it's because you've got Idenzo there. And Cowie's the man. I mean, just want to kind of shout out, as much as we've been talking about these battles going on, it doesn't look like Siege is going to get that move done now, because it's 1.1 second away. He hasn't got the DRS through this sector, but Cowie, consistent, well done. Fantastic driving, consistent every lap. Didn't really get involved in too much traffic or issues or incidents. Great strategy with the pitting. And if I look at the sort of details, I believe he started in P1, and at the moment I know with the penalty he won't be P1, but again, let's just look at the way he's been driving. Very consistent, well done, you know what I mean? It's fantastic. And Siege now, sort of ghosting through Jay Bradfield and Bradfield. This is where the game gets a little bit complex, so a little bit of annoyance, but nonetheless, he is going to get the DRS here from Jay Bradfield. And let's open up the door again. Oh, for the final lap of the race. And will we, in the final lap of the race, see an overtake done here? Let's have a look. I don't know if he's got enough to get it done, to be honest. I think the most important thing for Idenzo and Siege is to try and make sure that they're not more than 3 seconds away from Cowie. And certainly that would be the aim for Idenzo. But let's have a look. Oh, and these cars absolutely fly with that DRS wing. The problem is that straight is straight. It's just not long enough if you're that far back. And all the cars are very far apart. I mean, the nearest car is 23 seconds away from P3. It kind of gives you an idea. And then the next car from him is 10 seconds away. So, you know, when you add up all those times, if you add up from the leader here, look, you've got cars that are 27 seconds, 37 seconds, 52, 1 minute. You know, like, that's a lot of time. 1 minute away from the car in front, that's ridiculous. I don't know if Siege is going to get a move done here on Idenzo. I don't think they'll risk it. So far, they're both within a reasonable time zone to get 1 and 2. Idenzo for 1, Siege for 2, and that would move Cowie into 3rd, based on my estimation. But yeah, let's just go on board, because it is going to be Cowie that's going to win this race in terms of before the penalties. So well done to him. Absolutely fantastic driving the Ferrari. If only Ferrari really like this season. And congratulations, race over for him. 19 laps. And now we see how it's all going to unfold. And it looks like it has sorted itself out, and Cowie has won the race. Don't know if someone else had a penalty then, Siege or someone, but Siege just out of the podium position, followed by Idenzo. So Siege 2, Idenzo 3, Jake S at the moment is going to be P4, Liam 5th, Jockey Hockey 6th.
Well done, Cowie.
And TTG Sean 7th, Captain Infinity, Cryptic Aliba, Ozan, Jay Bradfield, Ferris Mushroom, Jay Story, and the other guys have all pitched out, right? So we're not going to mention them. What a race number says. It was a race until the glitch. It was good until we had an issue with the lobby, because all the cars were close together and stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, apologies that Nunda wasn't happy with the commentary. Apologies that Theo wasn't happy with the commentary. Jake will be back next week. But we try our best. We welcome you all. We ask you to subscribe to the channel, and we thank you for joining us. That is the conclusion of today's race, and well done to Jay Bradfield.
Oh, I messed up a little bit there, man.
He can't be accused of anything you boys all said. And Nunda says, Idenzo so quick, but he can't keep it consistent. I think that's his first podium. And we'll just quickly go over the championship standings. And where are we? Premier League, and the driver standings are as follows. In the league currently is Siege with the Haas with 124 points, followed by Cowie and the Ferrari with 103, followed by Ferris Mushroom with 70. Idenzo was on 68 in 4th. He's obviously won today's race. No, sorry, he didn't win today's race. Cowie won today's race. Apologies for that. And then Jockey Hockey in 5th, TTG Sean in 6th with 27 points, Jake S 14th, Crooksy 11 points, and Jay Bradfield William 10 points. So yeah, Cowie obviously now, I believe, will be just just doing my quick maths here on my head. I think Siege will still be ahead in the driver standings, even though Cowie pipped him to P1. So well done. Most of the drivers that sort of started in the grid, P2, finished P2, started P1, finished P1. Idenzo, well done. 8 places, mate. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
5 places. That's fantastic. But yeah, guys, not much more to say. Appreciate you watching. Sorry for those that weren't happy. Thank you for all those that did watch. We look forward to having you back. Thursday we have a practice session. That's for fun, the laughs, the get used to's, the opportunity to make the mistakes. Friday we have the championship. Normally starts about 8:30, sometimes a bit later because of other commitments of our admins. And then we have the Premier League, and that obviously starts at 7:30 on a Saturday. Have a good weekend and enjoy the Formula One race tomorrow, everybody.
Cheers, boys. Take care.
How do we stop this now?